All right, hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything, and I am coming to you with Filling the Void. This is episode 3, uh, and it's going to be my PTU experiences because I was going to have. I'm sorry, I just ate. I apologize. My abs. Okay, time for the chairman's out. Nice. Okay, sorry. I'm going to get my drink. All right, so what the stream was going to be was I was going to have a couple of people from our 1st Naval Aerospace Squadron participate with me, and they were going to sit to each side of me, and they were going to we were going to converse and discuss what our experiences were with the PTU. Well, the PTU invites have been going out pretty slow, and not everyone has had a chance to play the PTU extensively like I have, and they haven't been able to basically build up enough information in their reservoir or repertoire or reservoir to really share any insight. Other than that, and I didn't mind if they didn't or not. What I was going to do is just bring them on. We were going to talk about the PTU, talk about what we've seen and what we've observed from other streamers, and just give our personal opinions. Well, this is all unable to be done. So instead of canceling the show, because I didn't want to do that, what we're going to do is I'm going to discuss the PTU, the experiences that I've had in the PTU. If you've got any questions, if you're live watching this live, I'm actually at gaming.youtube.com watching the chat room there. So if you want to make any comments, go there to the gaming YouTube stream. If you would like to have any kind of banter back and forth. Now, what we normally do is we get a little Skype going. We get our co-hosts on. They didn't show. And I haven't checked the website, our website, 1nas.engine.com, to see if there was any delay or any reason why they weren't showing up. Okay, which there might or might not have been. Okay, so let's start talking about what just to kind of keep you informed, keep you filled in on what's going on in Mr. Everything's world when it comes to the gaming universe, right? Well, I've been playing a lot of the PTU. I'm gonna tell you, I've been playing a lot of the PTU, almost none. I played like 1 or 2 matches of Arena Commander, but I played mostly the live universe, okay, where I've gone and done a bunch of missions, a bunch of different types of missions, and that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about what my experiences have been in the PTU. In addition to that, I've been playing War Thunder, a lot of War Thunder. I've been playing an incredible amount of War Thunder. They had just recently had an event going on where if you played a number of hours and won a number of games within a certain period of time, you got some premium vehicles for a short period of time, 1 day, but still it was free. So I went ahead and participated. I got 4 vehicles. Probably could have got more in that time, but I wasn't power gaming. I was just having fun. There were some people in there that were playing only the best vehicles and only the best planes because they were trying to win, and I respect that. But I was just trying to have fun. What else have I been doing? I've been doing a lot of videos. I just started a new series of videos, the map spotlights. I've already had a section of my YouTube channel dedicated to map spotlights, but there wasn't anything in there. But now that we've actually got maps that we can visit and that I'm going to be able to do videos on, there will be map spotlights. I mean, I've started with one. I did the Port Olisar map spotlight. I've also did a Wake Island for War Thunder map spotlight. What else have I been doing? Just a lot of working, with just had the whole Thanksgiving Black Friday thing, and I work retail, so we had a lot. I worked a lot of hours. I think I did 40 hours in 3 days or something like that. It was crazy amount of amount of hours that I had. Oh, I guess it wasn't that much, but maybe it was. But either way, it was a lot of hours. Okay, so um, I've been kind of excited about maybe playing some D&D 5th edition. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Going back to my roots because I played D&D 1st edition, I played AD&D, I played 2nd edition AD&D, I played 3rd edition AD&D, I played 3.5. Um, didn't play 4th edition. But 5th edition looks really cool, and it seems like it's a pretty cool game. But I did a bunch of Robotech stuff for a little while, and then so, school happened, and so a bunch of players dropped out of the game, causing me to only have like 2 players, and 2 players is not enough to have a role-playing game. So just reboot, restart, and that's what we're going to probably do. Um, okay, might even do some Traveler. I'm thinking Traveler or AD&D. I don't know. Traveler, I kind of leaning towards Traveler, but I'm kind of excited about AD&D too. Okay, sorry, got a little distracted. Here we go. Now let's talk about the PTU. Um, you know that I did a lot of live streaming of the PTU, a lot. You could go through and watch a lot of my live streams. They're hours and hours and hours and hours of video. The problem with those videos is that more than half of those videos, not half of the time in those videos, is me restarting the game. Either there's too many bugs right now in the PTU. What there is when I say, if you don't know what the PTU is, it's the public test universe. It's it's a it's a limited alpha for a small group of people to test a build, a lot like the QA, but they need more than just 50 people or whatever. They're putting thousands of people into the in and basically utilizing us as QA to report bugs and report and to test the server load and things like that. And then gradually ramping that up until it's stable enough or it's where they want it to be, where enough bugs are smashed that they decide to release it to the backers. Okay, so it's not an open alpha because everyone in the universe can't play it, only backers. Okay, so it's kind of like a limited alpha. Now the PTU's even more limited. It's like a exclusive limited alpha or something, however you want to look at it. It started off with 1,000 people, right? I was not part of the 1,000 people. That only lasted about 2 or 3 days, and then it went to 1,100, 11,000 people. Went to 11,000 people, right? Well, I was part of that 11,000. Then it went to 50,000. I was, of course, still part of that. And then right now, as far as I know, it's at 110,000. It might be higher, but if you have 100,000 or less backer number, then you probably have access to the PTU. If you don't have that, then you might or might not have access to it based on how much you reported, how much activity you show in the issue council. Those are important to getting into the PTU, because the reason why they put the PTU out there is to get people to report bugs. If you're not the kind of person that ever reports bugs, then you're not the kind of person they want in the PTU. So luckily, or maybe not luckily, but as it would turn out, I do a lot of bug reporting. I take video, I splice the video, I specifically make bug videos, and I upload them to the issue council so that the devs can see what's going on. And apparently they appreciated that enough to put me into the 15,000 group. Okay. Okay. So I've been playing the PTU for, it seems like, since the 3rd anniversary live stream. When was that? November 16th, 18th, something like that. Okay, so it's been about 3 weeks that I've been playing the PTU. As you can go back and watch my YouTube videos, there are I probably uploaded 20 videos, probably maybe more of the PTU testing. Plus, there's each of those videos are 2 or 3 hours long. Some of them are only 1 hour long, but still, most of them are like 2 hours or a little more longer. The problem is, and I'm going to go back to this, is that I get booted. Initially, like when I first started, it was only like you play for 10 minutes and then you're booted. Then there was a time where I played for like 15 minutes and I was thinking, oh, progress. But then I would get booted. And then there was this one time that I went and played for 5 minutes and got booted. So it was fluctuating as the patches were getting released, and they're on H right now. But as the patches were released, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, right now I could probably play where, no, let me take that back. If you go back one patch, G, right? Yeah, I think it was G. I could play for an hour and then I'd get kicked. Right now it's H and I'm playing about 20 minutes and getting kicked. So is it my system that's causing me to get kicked? I don't think so. I have a pretty good system. I'm not saying it's the greatest system, but you can see in the show notes what kind of a system it is. It's i7, 770, 16 gigs. I got a bajillion terabytes. You know, I've got a pretty good system. I'm not saying it's the best because it's only a 3rd generation i7 and it's only a 770, but that's still a pretty good system. I can play on high settings. You know, I can play on very high settings. But there are certain things that are causing server crashes and client crashes. And I'm not alone. Because when you go to the issue council, you see 500 people are reporting this exact same issue that I'm having. You see different people reporting it in different ways. So there could be multiple reasons why someone might get kicked. And that's what I assume is hard, is that they find one way, but there's probably 100 different ways. So they've got to find all 100 ways that someone is being kicked. And even if they find one way, and that's hard to do, I'm sure, but once they find it, they got to figure out how to make that not happen. So I'm sure that the devs are working night and day, and I'm sure that they're trying to smash these bugs and trying to figure it out. But and this is a big step. Arena Commander, not such a big step. The multiplayer live universe kind of traveling about and all that with more than just 4 people or 8 people per side, you know, a specifically organized match. I mean, 4 versus a bunch of Vandal, that's not going to be hard. But when you're looking at 30 people trying to take off from Port Olisar or more, yeah, I can see where it's going to be a struggle. Plus, just the port. I mean, you can watch that video. The port is huge, and I say huge. Okay, it's not really technically huge in size. And the reason why I say that, let's see if I can try to make myself understand. They're computer pixels, right? They have no size. So when people say, man, that's a huge station, well, it's not. Now, if you take it in megabytes or gigabytes or terabytes, and it's gigantic in save space or anything like that, then yeah, I can understand where you would come out with size. Also, is it size comparatively to your character? Because if it's size comparative to your character has no size either. So now, if you're basing it on if you're basing it on I'm 6 feet and this thing's like so many miles based on me being 6 feet and how I would interact with it, okay, I can relate with that. But it doesn't actually have any substance, so you can't say that it's. I don't know. I just got distracted there for a second. Went off on a tangent. Sorry. Okay, let's get back to the PTU. Port Olisar. It's a very complicated space station. I mean, you got turning wheels that I don't even know why they're there. Because can you walk in them? Can you go in them? Is there sections of Port Olisar that they haven't opened to the public yet? Is that something that because it's spinning, it creates like a gravity so you can walk around, like a la 2001? I hope so. I want it to be that way. But other than that, why are they there? Does one spin this way and one spins this way and it keeps the stations stationary like a gyroscope or something? I mean, it looks cool and all, but but is there a purpose? What's the why? Okay, but okay, just for looks, not good enough for me. Okay, but Port Olisar does look good. I've done a video. I think it looks sexy. There's lots of landing pads. There's only 10 in use right now, right? But they've got 40 landing pads. That's right, 40 landing pads, but only 10 of them are in use right now by the players. That's because you spawn in one section, like section 1, I think it is, section alpha or something, and then you go to alpha 1 or alpha 2 or alpha 3 as the station. Now, if you cross through the thing, you would have Bravo, and then if you crossed over this way, you'd have Charlie and Delta, and each one of those has 10. Okay, and that's a lot, but not when you're talking about hundreds and hundreds of players that hopefully will be able to get into Port Olisar. Now, their instances, yeah, they might have to put you in different instances. Sorry. Back to PTU. I keep getting distracted. I'm sorry. I've got notes in front of me, but guess what? I haven't been using them. Okay, so here let's go to the notes. Let's talk about my experience with the PTU. Okay, half of my experience. That's where the booting comes in. Half of my time that I've dedicated, which has been 3 weeks. Let's just say 21 days. Let's just say 21 days. Let's say that I've put about 2 to 3 hours, I'm going to say 3 hours a day into the PTU. So that's over 60 hours, 66 hours, so 63 hours, 60 hours of PTU testing. Half of that time, maybe even more than that, has been disconnected, restarting the game. Yeah, I get in and I play for a few minutes. Boom! Then I gotta reload, relog, pick a new server, reload. Then I play for like 10 minutes. Then, boom! Okay. Play for 20 minutes. Boom! Play for 30 minutes. Boom! Okay. So what has that done to my experience? As a tester, okay, that's what I signed up for. I signed up to be a guinea pig. So I'm in there and I'm dogfighting and I'm having a good old time, and then boom, black screen. And I'm like, damn. Okay, so my so my experience has been frustration. That's what my experience has been. But it's tempered with understanding. Because I know that the PTU is broken. I know that. I know it's broken. I know they're working on it. I have faith. I'm confident that they will figure it out. But in the meantime, I hope, or I wish, that I could log in, play more than 1 or 2 missions before getting kicked. My understanding is there's 38 different missions. I've never been able to do more than 3 before getting kicked. Some of the missions, some of that 38, are not early missions. So I can't like log in, do a mission, log in, do a second mission, log in, do a third mission, log in, do a fourth mission. No, because some of these missions you have to do them in order. You have to do this before this can happen. You have to do this before this can happen. And the problem is, I'm never, ever, ever, ever getting to the more than 12 missions in. So I've done the first 12-ish missions a lot. I've had to redo them and redo them and redo them. So those 12 missions should definitely be bug fixed, but they're not, but they should be, because I'm sure I'm not the only one that's done 2 or 3 missions, kick. They got to go back. They can't do any more missions. They got to go back and do those ones they did before. Okay. So I'm getting frustrated as a player, right? As a player, not as a tester. As a tester, I understand. And I don't mind reporting the bugs. I don't, as a play tester, I don't care if I can see the sun through the wall. Yes, it's a bug, I reported it, but I don't care. I don't care if the door doesn't open. I don't care about that. I reported it, doesn't bother me. If I have to go around and take a circuitous route to get somewhere because that door wouldn't open and this door wouldn't open and this door wouldn't open, so I had to take the 4th door and go all the way around, doesn't bother me. I'll do that. I don't care if my landing gear is not out. I get in the Hornet through EVA. I don't care. I don't care if I went to Port Carre, I landed, and I got out, and another player shoots me and kills me. I don't care. What I care about, and this is the one thing, just the one thing that I care about, is crash to desktop. That's what bothers me the most. That is the one. I don't care if there was no graphics. I don't care if the ships fly backwards. It doesn't matter to me. What matters is I'm jumping in, I'm doing my part to help troubleshoot, look for bugs, report them, but I'm constantly getting pew, pew, pew back to the desktop. It makes me want to not log in. Okay, I'm sounding negative because that is the one downside. But now I've got 100 other things that are super exciting. I just wanted to get that one thing out of the way. That's what frustrates me. The crash to desktop. I could care less about the bugs, except for that one. Well, I don't know. Trying to log in and not being able to log in, I can work with that. I can work with servers being full, unlocalized errors, timeout errors, error code 0, whatever. I can do all that. But once I'm in and I'm doing my thing, I don't want to get kicked. That's the main thing. Okay, all right. All right. Now let's talk about what I have been able to do and what's really exciting. First of all, you spawn in, right, and you're in a bedroom. And every one of them is different. There's like 16 different ones. And they're all different. That's cool. Can't interact with anything yet, but none of it's really mine anyway, right? Like there's one with a leather jacket hanging on the shelf. I can't just take it, you know. It's just there for looks. All right, so that's cool. You come out, there's players all over the place. That's cool. You've got a chat system where you can talk to people all across the server. So it's kind of like global chat. It says local, but it's global. Okay? Because I'm out at a billion light years away. No, it's not light years, but I'm a few light seconds away, right? on a communication array or something, stranded. I can chat with somebody. Everyone that's looking at their chat will see that and come and respond. Or not, or say they can't, or say they will, or whatever. But everybody, so even though it says local, it's not local. It's global. Okay. They need to have they need to have a global and an actual local, and an actual local should be like on the in the instance that you're in, on that little map that you're at, like space station or whatever. Okay, so great chat. Your Moby glass works, so you can pull your arm up, you can look at your Moby glass. Some things on the Moby glass are disabled, but one main thing is enabled, and that's your mission tracker, right? So when you click on it, it tells you what missions you have available and where to go and what to do. And lo and behold, if you click on it, waypoints will appear out in space, and you can go fly to them. That took me a couple of logins to figure that out. but you can click on it. There's a little button on the mission that you can click on, and it will take you to, it'll give you waypoints to go to. I was like, that changed everything once I figured that out. Okay, so I'm like 2 weeks in. Okay, so I'm still in the Moby Glass now, right? But I'm 2 weeks into testing, and I just now found there was a journal. I clicked on everything, but not everything works all the time. Well, I figured it out. The journal does work some of the time. And when the journal works, there's actually missions in there that aren't really missions. They're kind of like clues. They're clues to where missions might be. And I was like, that's pretty cool. Like I got this one letter from some wife, Elaine, saying that her husband was killed on a space station and her insurance wasn't paid out. And so, because they said he was at fault, and they wanted me to go to the space station, investigate. She wanted me to go to the space station, investigate. She was going to pay me credits and find out if it was true or not, right? I mean, of course she didn't pay any credits because there's no economy in the game, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But let me put a note here not to forget about talking about economy. Okay, and then there's other missions in there. One of them says there's pirates around this asteroid belt. There's one that says the comma rays are hiring technicians. And then there's one that says, I think that's it. There's like 5 or 6 of them in there, but a couple of them I pretty much already knew. And that was go to the comma rays. There's 8 of them. There's 8 different comma rays. They're all exactly the same. But you go to them and pirates spawn in. Okay, and then you don't even have to fight the pirates. They're usually in 300 eyes, gladiuses, auroras, and that's usually what they're in. And then you've got a couple of guys, the Crusader security system. The Crusader security is there, and 2 Avengers. And these Avengers will kill, these pilots in the Avengers will kill all the pirates. All you have to do is sit back and wait. Early on, I was flying in and getting and dogfighting with them, damaging, blowing up Aurora, getting damaged, whatever. You don't have to do that. And in a persistent universe, I don't want to do that. Hey.
That's bright.
Yeah. So in a persistent universe, I don't want to do that, right? So, because if you get damaged, you're going to have to repair your damage or whatever, and you don't want to necessarily do that. But so what I do is I've learned that you can just stay back and you can let the Crusader security take care of the pirates. Once they're taken care of, you just fly into the comm array unopposed, go in, enable it, and get out. And so in a persistent universe setting, you don't want to get yourself damaged. Now, luckily, in this PTU, even if you are damaged, you can fly to a repair place, the service center. So you can fly to a service center and you can be repaired. And there's like multiple service centers. One of them's 42, amazingly enough. But you can fly to these and you can be repaired, and that doesn't cost you anything because it's free to get repaired. And even if you were to get blown up, right, you're going to respawn. So your life has no consequence. Your damages have no consequence. So that goes on to my next statement. There's griefers out there, and there's no consequence for griefing. So there's players that will wait around till you go to EVA, because there's a lot of missions where you have to EVA, and they will wait for you to EVA, and then they'll fly in and blow up your ship. Or they'll wait at the repair station, and you'll even notice this if you go into the issue council and you'll see that there are people complaining in feedback, because there's a section in there for feedback, that there are too many griefers at the repair stations. You'll be damaged because you fought some pirates and you're missing all your guns and your tail's blown off or whatever, and you go to fly in and land at the repair station. Before you can land and get repaired, some griefer will fly in and blow you up. Does he get labeled as a pirate? No. Does he get penalized in any way, shape, or form? No. Do you? Yes, because you've got to go respawn. Which is fine, because you just respawn, walk out, pick up another ship, and take off, right? Because there's no consequence. Whether you blow up or not blow up, it doesn't matter. Whether you kill someone, blow their ship up or not, doesn't matter. There's no economy, so there's no financial gain or loss for doing any of that. So what we're seeing is a lot of people blowing a lot of people up for no reason. There's no reason, because you're not getting anything out of it. All you're doing is causing them to respawn. And one of the guys in the issue council stated, he's like, hey, I flew in to get repaired and I landed and the repair drone started coming out, and then this guy came up and strafed me on the landing pad and just blew up my ship. And he's like, wow, it takes a lot of skill to shoot a landed fighter or whatever, And I'm like, yeah, these guys are okay. Does that bother me? A little bit, not as much as crashing your desktop. I don't care if you grief me, no big deal. Because there's no consequence. You can kill me 100 times, it doesn't matter, right? The problem that I have with griefers, and this does bother me, and it goes along with the crash to desktop. If I've gotten like 4 missions in, which is rare, but let's say I get 4 missions in, I'm about to do my 5th mission, and I'm flying out to go rescue some person that's getting accosted, right? I'm out there, and then some player comes and blows me up while I'm focusing on this rescue or whatever it is, and they come and blow me up, and then I get kicked to desktop. That frustrates me because I was about to do my 5th mission, which is, I haven't done 5 in a row, ever. And if they blow me up, and it's only happened once, but when it did happen, oh, let me rephrase that. This is what did happen to me grief wise. Actually, I've been griefed a lot, but let's say the one I remember the most. I went to a comm relay. I EVA'd into the comm relay. I came out of the comm relay, and my ship was damaged. And I'm like, who damaged my ship? My ship's damaged. So I EVA over to my ship to get into it. And it was spinning. It was kind of like tossing and turning and spinning, keeping me from getting to the right spot to open the hatch and get in. And I did that for a good 15 or 20 minutes. I mean, literally, I was sitting there like, oh my God, I'm trying to get into my Hornet. And it was tossing and turning. At one point, I gave up because we were drifting so far away from the station. I was like, oh my God, I'm getting so far away from the station. So I just started EVing back to the station. I got back to the station. I called for someone to pick me up on the chat. No reply. I must have called probably 20 or 30 times. Nobody replied. Nobody said yes. Nobody said no. Nobody said you're screwed. Nothing. So I logged out. To me, that was because there's no way to just kill yourself, you know, so that I could respawn back at base. I had to log out to respawn. Effectively stopping my mission chains. Because when you log back in, you got to start all over again. So I did mission 1, did mission 2, did mission 3, did mission 4, went to go EVA into a comm thing. When I came out, my ship was damaged. It wasn't blown up, but it was damaged. The plane was drifting away, and I couldn't get to it and get into it, and I couldn't. So it was like an hour into the game, and I felt like I was on a stable platform, like I was gonna be able to do more missions, but I couldn't do it. That frustrated me. The guy that blew up my ship, what happened to him? Nothing. He laughed and flew off, I'm sure. Did he get any consequences? No, because there are no consequences. So I was kind of frustrated about that. So I had to log out, and then half the time when you log in, you can't get in. There's a bug where you can't log in. So I was struggling to log in. You can go watch my videos, you'll see that. Okay, so that's griefing. Grief, there's way too much griefing. Now, I understand that when there is consequences, when there is an economy, and there is consequences, then griefing will be a problem. I mean, griefing will subside. But right now, there's no downside to griefing. Repair. I thought repair was pretty cool. I don't care if the drones fly over and fire beams at me and that repairs me. I'm okay with that. It's in the future, right? So what the heck? I don't care if that happens. With the Crucible post, they said there is a beam that fires and generates like a what does it generate? It generates kind of like you got to mix the metals. You got to mix components to make this metal compound, and then it uses like a 3D printer to recreate your ship or whatever in the Crucible. So why can't that be on the service station? I don't care about the beams. I don't. It saves time to having to people having a hammer or drill or whatever. EVA system in the game works great. I don't have any problem with the EVA. The EVA experience has been very positive. I've been able to move left, move right, move forward, move backwards. I can spin around. I can do all kinds of things. I can pull my gun out early on. When you pulled your gun out and you fired, shots went in every direction, but that's over with. Now you can actually shoot where you want to shoot. It's pretty good. I don't know why I have landing pads on there. I got landing pads on my notes, and I'm not sure why. But okay, the next one, missions. Okay, there's supposed to be 38 missions so far. I've only been able to accomplish a certain number of missions. Now here's the ones I've been able to accomplish. Comm relays. You go in. I've done like, there's 8 different comm relays. It doesn't matter which ones you do in what order. You just have to do all 8, and you don't have to do them in any. You do one, you get another secret mission. You do the second one, you get a third secret mission and stuff. So you basically, you kind of have to rotate them in. So you rotate them in, you get bunches of missions. What missions that I've picked up from doing the comm relays are a black box floating out in an asteroid belt. You go fly out there, you recover the black box. Okay. Download the information from black. You don't actually recover the black box. You just click it and it downloads the information. You get to hear the broadcast. There's a ship out there that's being attacked by pirates. You got to stop the pirates. There's another one that's there's a ship out there that's engines aren't working. You got to go out there and fix the engines. I haven't been able to figure out how to fix the engines yet. I don't know if it's bugged or if it's something I couldn't click on that other people have been able to click on and I couldn't click on. So I don't know. So that actually never worked for me. And then went to Port Coray. That's not a mission, but you go to Port Coray, pick up a gun, you do a lot of first-person shooting. That's pretty cool. And then finally, the last mission that I've successfully done, and I haven't even finished it really because I just started it, went through the whole thing, and then my ship was blown up on the landing pad by a griefer for no reason. The second time I went to go do this mission, somebody followed me in with a pistol and shot me while I was trying to do the mission. For no reason. Because there's no consequences. Okay, so what it was it's the Kovalik Shipping Hub. You go into the Kovalik Shipping Hub and you, like I talked about at the beginning, and you find out, and I don't want to ruin it because you can go and watch that video, but that was probably the most exciting mission for me because it wasn't a whole lot of combat or anything like that. It was just, I expected there to be combat. I was anticipating combat, and it was really scary and stuff like that. But okay, and then the last thing was missions. Okay, we did all that. Now, just rescue from pirates, distress beacon, comm relays, right? And then there's the economy. Last thing I want to talk about, the economy. There's no UEC, there's no rec, there's nothing like that. There's no customization of your ships too. Okay, let's talk about that a little bit. There's no shops, there's no buying anything. Basically, you just pull up the ship you already own, and it comes default onto the pad. You don't get any modifications. You can't go into your hangar and make some changes to your ship, and then when you go into the universe, click it and it come modified. It doesn't do that. I tried it. It doesn't happen. So it just comes default. The economy-wise, since you're doing these missions not for reward. You're doing it to test the missions. Right? You're doing these to test the missions for the devs because there's no economy, there's no money, so you're not able to go somewhere, get a rifle, and then keep it so the next time you log in you have that rifle. No, it doesn't happen that way. So my point is, since there is no economy and there are people that will shoot you and disturb your, what's the word I'm looking for? They'll disturb your testing process. See, I'm there, and I'm sure that a lot of people are there to try to figure out where all the bugs are, what suggestions can be made, what benefits, what negatives, what detractors, what adders, whatever for the game. But then there's that group of people, and I'm going to say there's a few of them, there's quite a bit of them, that are in the PTU, and their main purpose in the PTU is just to fly around blowing people up. Those guys They need to figure out who those guys are and kick them out of the PTU and make room for people that are actually legitimately concerned about helping and reporting bugs. If they're not, if they're not kicking them out or booting them from the PTU, then that makes me wonder what CIG is even considering. Are they endorsing it? Are they strongly? Do they not care? You know that their PTU testers are having a bad experience. Now I understand you're also testing the ability for player versus player content, right? The only thing that you got to worry about testing is the FPS because we've already got the multiplayer in Arena Commander, the ships. We've already got Arena Commander. So, and you want to see if you can blow somebody up on a landing pad? Really? A QA tester could do that. Okay, so in summary, my P2 experience, and it's gone, I think this show's gone on for about an hour, right? So my P2 experience has been overall, it's been frustrating, extremely frustrating. It's been time consuming. I spent 60 plus hours trying to help the developers bug test. Half of that time has been due to bugs not letting me in. Some of that time, I'm going to say maybe 10% of the time, it's been due to the, no, I'm going to say it's more than that. You know why? Because I'll either get kicked or I'll be forced to restart. And I'll be forced to restart by a griefer. And that, if I'm in 10 minutes and then for some reason I have to get out to get back in, and then it takes me 30 minutes to get back in, that griefer just did 30 minutes worth of damage to me. So I'm going to say that I've been frustrated more than I've been happy. Now, the time that I've been playing, that I've been happy about what I've seen, shoot, was pretty much 100% of the time that I was actually playing. Visuals, stunning. Stunning visuals. I flew to Yellow Moon when my Retaliator had the filament, right? The planet, space stations, asteroids, all beautiful. Graphics, lighting, they just did lighting pass. Lighting looks outstanding. Music is good. Sound effects really good. Happy with all that. Missions, I'm happy with the missions. I just wish I could do more than 4 at a time. And I wonder if, oh, gotta say this, ICC probe, right? When you go to the ICC probe, you get a mission to go report to the ICC probe because they have a mission for you. When you get into that local area, you get Trista, I think is her name. She talks to you over the radio, and she's a hoot. Let's just say, and I think you have to go back to her and keep getting more missions or whatever. But I can't wait for grabby hands because then you can grab things and move them around. You can do some salvaging. I want to see that. I want to see the economy actually get in there where you actually, and more importantly, this is the most important thing. I want people that are griefing to be punished. Doesn't have to be severe. It could be something as simple as you can't repair. It could be something as simple as you can't ever go back to Port OSR. It could be something as simple as both of those right there would be fine. So if a guy's flying out there, he blows somebody up, he gets a little damage himself, now he can't go back and repair. Or it costs him double. Or anytime he flies into an area that has Crusader security, they immediately attack him. Something like that. those guys that are griefing need to have either be kicked off the PTU, which I don't think they want them to do, because I think they want some player versus player content, which I'm okay with that, but there has to be consequences. There's no consequences right now, none, except for reloading times. That's a big consequence. All right, well, I wish I had my guys with us to, we'll revisit this once the PTU actually, once Crusader goes live to the public and everybody in the squadron gets a chance to play. But until then, I'll see you in the verse.